Hey guys, Nick here with you again. And as always, you should be happy. The question right now is, what is your favorite book or movie and why? My favorite book is The Little Prince. Maybe you have read this book when you were younger. This book tells the story of a little prince that lives on the moon. It seems silly. The reason why this is my favorite book is because I have read this book 2 times. The first time when I was more or less 10 years old. And the second time I read it, I was maybe around 20 years old, which is twice as much. The book was very interesting to read, but what I liked the most was The Little Prince is a very short book. There is not a lot of writing. Also, the book has a lot of pictures and images, which helped me when I was younger to understand what the reader is talking about. Because I was young and I didn't know all the words I could see in the book. The Little Prince is an amazing book if you read it 2 times, because the first time you will see a very simple story about a little boy who lives on the moon. But if you read this book after some time, maybe 2 years, 3 years, you will see how you understand new ideas from the book that you didn't know before. That is why The Little Prince is my favorite book. But what about you guys? What is your favorite book? Maybe you don't like books? What is your favorite movie?
Hello everyone. I'm going to tell you about my favorite movie. What do you think my favorite movie is? Well, whatever you said is probably wrong. My favorite movie is The Lion King. That's right, The Lion King. It is an amazing film. My favorite part of The Lion King is when Simba leaves home. He's very sad, and I don't want to tell you too much if you haven't seen The Lion King, so that part's a secret. But he meets these 2 very strange friends, Timon and Pumbaa. And there they learn to be friends, and they eat bugs together. Yes, it sounds very bad, but it's a very funny part. And The Lion King is a movie where they're singing, and you just learn lots about friendship and how to be a good friend. My favorite part about this movie is that I got it for my birthday when I was a small boy. I went and seen it at the cinema with my mother and my father and my brother, and remembering how much I liked this movie. And my father gave it to me on my birthday. So I watched it probably over 100 times. That's right, I know all the words to The Lion King, but I don't have enough time to tell you them all now. Just the most important part is Hakuna Matata, and it means no worries. Anyways, what can you tell us about your favorite movie?
Hello everyone, my name is Jonathan, and I've been asked to tell you about my favorite book or movie. It's going to be a movie for me because I don't like most books. I do like a history book or a factual book, but I don't like books with a story. It's because for me it is hard to read a long book in one session. I like to watch a movie because I can spend 2 hours watching one movie, and that is great for me. My favorite movie is a movie most of you will have seen, That movie is Star Wars. I watched Star Wars when I was very, very young, when there were only 3 Star Wars movies. I watched it and it made me feel so warm and brave and brilliant. I could imagine living in the stars, living in that world. It was great. I used to watch that movie every day for about 2 months. Then I started to watch it every week, and I still watch it a lot. When I was young, it used to make me feel like an adult because I felt smart watching it. Now, when I watch it, it makes me feel like a child because I remember how I felt. What book or movie do you like to watch or read?
Hello, how are you? I hope you are doing well. I'm doing great. Eddie here to talk to you today about books. Specifically, I will tell you my favorite book. Now, I love books. I love reading. I have always loved reading. But it was very easy for me to choose my favorite book. That is because I have always had the same favorite book ever since I was about 8 or 9 years old. That was when I first read The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, and as soon as I finished it, it has always been my favorite book. I have read it now probably more than 20 times. It is a very, very famous book, but if you do not know The Hobbit, it is a fantasy book. It is about a tiny little man called Bilbo who goes on an adventure to find a dragon and steal the gold that the dragon had taken. This book is great. Parts of the book are funny, parts of the books are scary, but the whole thing is very, very good. There is a Russian movie made about The Hobbit from 1985, but I have never seen it because I do not speak Russian. However, in 2012, there is a new movie about The Hobbit made by someone from New Zealand, like me, called Peter Jackson. These movies are great, but they are not as good as the book. So you should read the books before you watch the movies. So, what about you? Do you have a favorite book? Have you ever read The Hobbit?